on me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 and love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved. Love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours.
Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Phionah and
I'm Sylvia.
Today we're going to be talking about a topic that's been going around on the internet that we thought we would share and chat and discuss with you guys. And we're also going to be doing different topics and segments every week, every day of the week. So if you have any ideas about what you want us to talk about, leave it in the comments below. Like the video and subscribe. So today's topic is, would you let your mother-in-law sit in the front, or you would sit in the front? So how would you deal with that? And we're gonna be discussing
that's like a typical African thing to think that. Like, why would I let my mother-in-law sit in the front when I'm the wife? But I mean, we're here to discuss and find out what do you think? What do we think? What are our takes on that?
What would you do in that situation? And I know this is mainly an African situation, but I've actually seen on the internet that even other cultures, Caucasian culture and Europeans, have had a discussion about it. So for me, my take on this one would be, actually I would love to hear what you said about this before I come in.
I mean, you can go first, but
so my take on this one was, a friend of mine actually posted it on her WhatsApp or something, and I commented on it and I gave my take on it. So my take was, depends on my relationship with my mother-in-law and how old she is and how entitled she is. Some in-laws can be entitled. So if she's entitled, I'm not giving up my seat. If she's old, I can think about it. Now, let me explain entitled. There's some mother-in-laws or in-laws that just feel like, wow, I'm entitled to this and that, but they actually are not nice to you. So my take on that is, if we have a good relationship and you're older and you're just visiting us for a short period, I might give up my seat so you talk to your son in the front, just out of respect, because mostly that's how we're raised back home. So I would give up my seat only if you have a good relationship and you don't have an entitlement chip coming along with you. But if you come in expecting me to just, or if my husband told me to give you my seat, then we're gonna have a problem. I would definitely offer to drive the car, and my husband would have to sit in the back with his mom, and they figure out who sits in the front. I would not. I don't do well with being told what to do or entitlement and stuff like that. So that'll be my take on it. Either I drive and they figure it out, or I give it up out of respect, depending on the relationship.
Yeah, actually for me, my take, I kind of agree with you. Well, like, it depends on your mom-in-law and the relationship you have between the two of you. But me personally, if she wanted to sit in the front, of course, just like you said, if like she's visiting, of course she needs to catch up with her son.
Well, but do they have to catch up in the car? That's the question. Like,
yeah.
If it's a ride, we're taking to the restaurant or grocery store or something. I don't think she needs to catch up with her son. She can catch up at home.
I know.
So now, if we pick her up from the airport, then and she's nice to me and we have a good relationship, I could be like, I'll drive.
Yeah.
And she sits in the front or my husband can drive and they sit in the front and talk, But my issue is the entitlement, where they both feel like I should not even be trying to sit in the front seat of my own car. Yeah. There is a problem.
I understand. See, I'm not agreeing with the fact that they're supposed to be entitled. Like, this is my spot. If I come, you move backwards. No. I mean, like, that's not there, right?
Right.
And your mother-in-law is really actually nice and you're good. Like, you have a good relationship.
Good relationship.
There's no reason. There's no reason why if she wanted or if the son wanted to talk to her. Why would I say no? I mean, I'm just going to be back there, but that doesn't mean that she's going to be sitting in the front from the time she comes till when she goes. No, that's only a one-time thing.
Well, so, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just stubborn. There's something that doesn't sit with me if my husband, unless he talked to me and it's like, hey, do you mind sitting in the back so I can talk to my mom briefly or something in a nice way. You're not ordering me around, telling me, hey, sit in the back.
Of course. I mean, if you have a good relationship with your husband, there's no way they're just gonna be like, move around, move back, my mom is here.
Some people
talk.
We both know.
Maybe we should talk about the good relationship in the family and the bad relationships in the family.
Right.
We all know, like, there are those people who have like really monster in-laws.
Yeah.
And like they like
they just don't get along.
Yeah, they didn't get along with anyone and they take charge in everything no matter what.
And when they visit, they won't tell you what to do, how to clean your house, how to cook, how to
so
take care of the baby.
So there's those kind, but also there's this kind that are actually loving and understanding and all that. So I was more on the side of this loving, not this.
Well, if she's loving, I mean, I'm trying to think about my own scenario because I'm thinking, well, there are times where we have had to drive a car and me, the kids, my parents-in-law, my husband. So I think normally in that situation, his dad sits in the front with him and then they talk because he doesn't hear well. So he has to actually hear well when he's close to someone. So in most cases, my husband is going to talk to him. Yeah. And me and his mom would sit in the back and the kids in the back, which I don't always feel a way about it. I just feel like it just happens organically. So that's different. And there's other factors that, apply. But I think this question was brought up on the internet because, again, some people feel like, why should they feel entitled?
Yeah.
Or where does it have to get to the point where your husband dictates who sits in the front. It's my car too, and we're gonna talk about it, or I'm going to use my own instinct, and give it up. Or I can drive. No one says that I can't drive and my husband can just be a co-driver. So I think there's like different angles to this topic, but I think it went viral because people don't agree that they should be entitled to the seat just cause.
Of course, just because they're the parents. Of course, they are not. I cannot agree with the fact that they feel like entitled to just be there, sitting in front and boss everyone around. No. But you talked about the father-in-law.
Yeah.
That is like your dad is here. What? Right. I would totally let my dad-in-law to sit with his son in the front and sit back with my mom, you know, and like catch up,
Right.
But when it comes to just mom-in-law and me being in the back, that doesn't work out.
Right. So because then you're like just the how do you call it? The sidekick. What's the word? Third wheel. Third wheel. Yeah, you're just like driving around. And like they're probably even not talking about anything that concerns you or involves you. Some people are very clueless by the way. That's the other thing that irks me.
Yeah. Well,
they talk about stuff.
Yeah.
You're in the car, but
you're like not there.
It's like you're not there because the things they're talking about you can't really contribute to. You don't even know what they're talking about. Actually, that even applies in general discussions when you're visiting people or when you're riding or hanging with people and they start talking about things and they clearly know that you have no input, you don't know what they're talking about, and they just carry on. That's just rude in a way. So I think, and I also think, to speak on my side, I think my in-laws don't mind sitting in the back. They don't fuss about it. They just, even when you're walking to a car, they've got the back seat unless I offer it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it depends, and yeah. So.
Yeah, I think generally it depends on. I don't think there's any mother-in-law who's gonna be coming running to the front seat when you're with your husband.
Well, back home they do apparently.
Well, no, not all of them though. It goes back to the fact that we say it depends on what kind of relationship is there.
We are both born and raised in Uganda, and then we moved to Rwanda. So when we say back home, we're talking about both countries.
Both countries.
Rwanda
and right now, Right now we are in US.
Right now we're in the US, so we have 3 places. So when we say back home, just know we're talking about Uganda or Rwanda, and we're gonna be we might slip up and say a Rwandan word or Ugandan sentence or something. Bear with us, because we're assuming that our videos are gonna be actually watched by both communities, the African community and the American community.
Yeah,
so
hopefully,
yeah. So if we slip up, bear with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
And you guys can let us your intake on this.
Yeah.
Feel free to comment. Feel free to bring more ideas. Feel free to enlighten us where we are. Maybe we didn't talk about that, but you really want to know about that. Yeah. Just feel free to bring it up. I mean, in the comments. We love
just
comments.
Drop it in the comments. A topic. It could be anything. We're open to discussing anything. I'm married. She's single. So we have both our perspectives matter. Black lives matter. So all opinions. All opinions matter, so we're going to. That's why we're doing this together, and we'll have other guests come in and discuss different topics. So we would appreciate all your input on what topics you want us to discuss and what you want us to clarify on. And we're not experts, so don't take our word for anything. We're not going to advise you to anything. To each other on whatever works for you. We do that.
We're just putting there our thoughts.
This is how I would, since I'm married, this is how I would handle it. Now back home, I can't imagine how I would have handled the situation if I was married to an African man. I don't know how I would have maneuvered that situation. So I can't speak for that, but I can speak for my situation right now. So in my situation, it's a pretty clean, obvious situation. I offer my seat up depending on my mood, but they don't assume that I'm gonna give it up. And if I offer my seat, sometimes I drive and my husband does that, vice versa. So there's no set in stone way to go about it. And I'm not saying that's how you should do your thing and be like, oh, do, and like have it be a big blowout or a fight that you have with your husband and your in-laws. I don't know your situation, so don't do what I do.
Yeah.
We're just here to discuss and brainstorm.
And most importantly, have fun and share ideas.
Yeah.
We do love sharing ideas because that's how we learn. We learn from each other. So
yeah. So also I think this topic made rounds because mainly people back home, the women, I think I can't say in general, but I think mainly the men tell the women what to do. It's like there's that role where you expect the guy to tell you what to do, and if you did do what you wanted to do, then it creates some sort of conflict, and then your in-laws always have like a big say in your marriage, especially the husband's side always can say or influence your marriage if you let them, which if I'm being honest, there's not many that stand up to their many husbands that stand up to their husbands back home. Normally they will tell you and complain and then you take it in, and then it comes into your marriage, and then you guys fight, and most times in the long run, the wife ends up being almost like shut down, like she loses her identity and she's just a wife that really, her place is in the kitchen. So I can't say like that's most of them. I think some of them have found their voices, but I can't say it's on the same level as the US or other progressive countries.
Yeah.
So I think this topic would be harder for people back home to navigate, because the wife would also, there's a respect, elder how do you say it? Elderly respect, where you get up when the older person walks in the room, or you give up your seat. But in this situation, it's not that they don't have a seat, it's that it's a front seat. So you're not being rude because they have a seat. It's not like they are going to be standing in a train, you know. They have somewhere to sit. So in this situation back home, I think the husband will in most cases would dictate where they can mama mas or mama tula mas or something like that, like passive aggressive or direct sometimes. And it's rude, but I think it's a broader issue where the women are not expected to have an opinion on most of things like that, and they just agree to it because they feel like it's a respect thing, and you're just trying, even if the in-laws are rude and mean to you, it's like you're always trying to make the peace. Most women, some women are difficult, but most women are trying to make the peace and make things comfortable for everyone, even if they're being like exploited.
Yeah, and like mostly in Uganda, they are very big on respect.
Yeah.
So,
but it goes one way most times.
Yeah,
it goes to the man's side and the women's side.
I mean, mostly the women.
Yeah.
Literally, they raise girls and they tell them respect is everything.
Yeah.
So if you're a girl and you grow up with that respect, you know, you respect your elders, you respect your parents, you respect your husband, and like even though you may not agree with your man, that's in case your man is one of those who like dictate things.
Yeah.
Even though you wouldn't agree with them, you still want to show respect to your mother-in-law. So of course you go in the back seat and let her sit in the front.
Just avoid conflict.
Yeah, to avoid conflict. Also to have to keep your
peace and
keep your peace and keep like that respect between the two of you and your mother-in-law.
It's like even when you don't get along, that you still have to be respectful. It's like it's so hard to express your bad emotions without when you're still respectful. I struggle with that. I don't think, that's why I always tell her, I'm like, I don't think an African marriage would have worked out for me because I am hot-tempered and I'm way progressed in my way of thinking that I cannot do the whole traditional, setting of marriage. So it depends. So this is going to be, I think this could be also like its own topic segment that we'll discuss, like
we should talk
expectations of being married in Africa and being married here. I mean, someone could argue that it's the same, but it's really not, because you're in two different cultures and so one is more progressed, the other one is still working on it, and there's good and bad in both. So I think we could do this as its own segment. So
we should do that. And what I was talking about the Ugandan culture and respect and all that, women actually submit to that because of the respect, but that doesn't mean like there isn't the other part of the families that have experienced other different cultures and they moved from where they were before.
They're more progressed.
Yeah, they're more progressed, and like they're changing so fast. So yes, it's there. It's still there, mostly in countryside and all that. But it's also changing in urban areas. Yeah. So we still have that.
A long way to go, but we've come a long way. Yeah. So if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, so we are running out of time. This is our first segment. I don't know if we really went into depth about the topic, but really there's not much about this one because it seems like it depends on where you come from, your culture, your morals, and how easily you are tipped off on some topics and how defensive you are or how strong-headed you are. So I think this depends. It's a very broad topic, and I think that's why it went viral. So I hope that our opinions on that, clearly they're different, but I think we've covered generally how most people would respond to it. So thanks for watching.
Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and keep in touch with us and comment. Yeah, please
leave any topics, any chats, anything. There's nothing, like they said, there's no stupid question. Just leave all the questions under the comment section. Suggest any topics that you want us to discuss. We cannot wait for you to find out what topics we're going to talk about tomorrow or what subject we're going to discuss tomorrow. So stay tuned
and share.
Yes, do share. Bye.
See ya tomorrow.